This is your sports TV station in Lorain, WLCS TV 20.
Good afternoon and welcome to George Daniel Stadium. It's Jay Ferguson, Tom Bauer, Joe Bach here for freshman football action. The Elyria Pioneers in white with red helmets kicking to the Titans in blue and white helmets. We're underway. Ball picked up by Brendan Deniff, brought out over the 40, close to the 45, and good field position for the Titans.
Excellent field position. I don't know if that was a typical ninth grade kicker or, that's their style. Because some people don't kick it deep and let you do the returns.
I was at the Clearview varsity game last week, and Vermillion got back in it with
kicks.
three. Yeah. They got 2 of the 3 onside kicks, starting in the second half. And the first one was by surprise, but one of the next 2 was just a misplay.
Yeah. I think that's something you don't work on nearly enough, probably.
Davion Dower is the quarterback in the gun. Near side is 32 Michael Harrell, and Dower hands straight up the middle. And when he gets where he's going, that's going to be number
all the
27,
way.
Dakota Mincy, 55 yards off left guard for a touchdown on the opening play, Tom.
Yep. Mincy, that name's familiar. We've had some other Mincy's play, and he looks like he might be a good one.
I mean, certainly the line performed the way they needed to there. 55 yards, basically untouched, 16 seconds into the game. And Lorain breaks on top, 6 looking for 7 and 8. Again, near side in the backfield, Michael Harrell, 32. Far side is Mincy. Twins to the right. Keeper, and not going to get in, is number 2, Davion Dower. Tackle for Elyria by Shamar Williams, 3 and 8, Deontay Horton.
Now, I remember I seen their freshman game last week against Midview, and he scored 3 extra points on that same exact play.
I was going to say, at this level, a lot of times don't you have just an extra point play?
And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
So certainly a better start. The Titans were down 14-0 early last week in that freshman game before coming back to defeat Midview 24-20. Elyria also a winner in their opener against Fremont 30-6. So we didn't have much time to set the lineups here, and the Titans are already on the scoreboard. And if that's the way the rest of the season's going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun for the fans in Lorain. Because that was perfectly blocked and well carried.
And there's a lot of talent on the team. I watched a lot of these kids play last year, Johnny Wilson and Longfellow, and there's just a lot of talent, which is good. And you look at the numbers on the sideline.
That's real encouraging is to see, looking at the 2 rosters, they look about the same in terms of depth.
And we'll get Joe to pan the sideline one of these times to let everyone see how many kids are really out for football this year.
Okay, Davion Dower, it looks like he is going to put the ball in play, placing it on the tee. I hope somebody reminds him we're going the other way.
He's not the kicker.
He's not the kicker, though. He's just the teer. 32, Michael Harrell, is going to kick. Deep for Elyria, number 1, Sean Glover, stands back at the 15. That's near side, however, to Marco Gonzalez, number 9. He's going to take it to far side. He's got an edge as the wall set up nice. He's down the sideline and pulled down at about the 50.
Another good field position for the other team.
Manny Brown, number 17, among Titans on that stop, but Elyria with a nice return. And that was a decent boot at any level of high school football.
Well, down to the 10, 15-yard line is always a kick.
And they're going to start at the – boy, my guys don't have the lines on there for me, but that looks like it is the 30, 44, 45-yard line.
Same place the Lorain started.
Yep, exactly the same. For Elyria, near side roll, quarterback in trouble, ducked under and caught in the backfield, stumbles ahead.
He made a few yards out of what looked like a 10-yard loss.
Absolutely. Dante Beckett is the quarterback, number 16. He put the head down and picked up a couple. 20, Brendan Deniff, one of the Titans on the play. Second and about 8. Deniff give left side, and that's Marco Gonzalez again, the young man that returned the kick. Couple more out near the 49, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for Elyria.
One of these games played on a Thursday mirrors exactly the varsities on both levels. I watched Elyria's varsity play, exactly the same formation, exactly the same things.
Shotgun twins each way. Wide receiver, little bubble screen to 82. He's going to be close to the first down. That's Keon Green. Tackle on the play, 13, David Weatherington, one of the Titans on it, but it looks to be enough for an Elyria first down. Ball splits the 45 of Lorain. 1st and 10 for Elyria. Oops. Interesting, because obviously the cadence of the quarterback, but
I think that drew everybody off. But
well, there was a little bit of a head bob there with the whole thing, so I didn't know which way it was going to go, even if they marked it off against the Titans, and you saw all 4 guys up front were across. Quarterback caught that one on the move, throws, and he's got another first down, maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, 20-yard catch, yep.
Devin Nail, number 7, is brought down on the 25. Another first down, as you say, Tom, 20 yards on that one. Quarterback looked to be moving sideways on that, almost like a arena football play. Well thrown, though. Here's the wide receiver screen again. Same play they picked up the first down on. Not so much that time ball on the turf, but they're going to call him down, and I think that's the right call. The knee was down before the ball was out, but the Titans really had sniffed that one out. Weatherington 13, 28, Sean Petty among Titans on the play. There was a whole bunch of their friends over there, too. Number 9, Chris Serrano was in on that. Well defense, going to be 2nd and call it 10. We call it 11. Near side roll all by himself, and it's going to be all tied up. Number 8, Deontay Horton, was just totally uncovered, Tom.
Yeah. These teams put you to sleep. The short pass, touchdown, yeah.
And I don't know if that was some sort of a wheel where they brought the wide guy out.
Because he came out of there clean, I think.
He sure did. He was, as they say, as open as Denny's. Elyria 2-point play, 6-6 right now.
Same play that Lorain ran.
Same play, maybe a one hole inside.
Same result?
Same result. No good. So we have played. We've played 2:17.
2:17, and we scored 6-6.
Yep, and that was Horton on a 27-yard pass. And the conversion no good, just like. So it's 6-6 with 6:43 to go in the first quarter.
We used to call these kind of games track meets because you're running up and down the field.
And it's really warm out here.
Yeah.
But that's the same for both teams. But early in the season, the execution on offense for both teams has been, pretty good. I would say that it's unusual to say that the offense is ahead of the defense at this point in the season.
Well, they're both in these spreads where you're thinking long passes every play, but you watch Elyria, it was a very controlled passing attack until they threw the touchdown pass.
Tom, the difference in the offenses that teams run now versus the old days of the double tight I formation kinds of things, the feeling now, I think, is you spread people out 50 yards and all you need is one broken tackle because there's no safety because he's got an assignment. Elyria will kick. That looks to be Beckett, the quarterback, going to kick again, second time for him. Lined up deep for Lorain. Manny Brown is lined up on about the 22-yard line. Kick is away and sails over the head, and Brown's going to pick it up at about the 11. Trying to get to the near side. Got one block, broke a tackle and another tackle. He didn't get out to the 20. Good hit there on the play by Elyria, and that looked to be number 5, Jordan Lucky Baker.
Now, he did make a lot out of nothing coming across the field and broke 3 or 4 tackles getting there.
That's the unfortunate part when the kick goes over your head. You've got a lot to make up. Had that ball been, they're going to mark it right at the 20. You caught the ball at the 22 where the receiver was standing, and now that same kind of return puts you out over the 30. Same formation. 2 backs in the backfield along with Dower. Dower throws a swing pass. That's Zion Cross. He's got all the speed in the world, but couldn't get outside to do much with it. Brought down after a gain of, call it 1.
None, maybe even.
Yeah, he got
to the 21. Right across the line.
But they had sniffed that out. Cross is 21. He's going to be the single back. 2 to the near side. Michael Harrell. 3 to the near side, Harrell is one of them. Looks like Trevon Morgan, 88, is one. Can't read the other number. Give inside, nothing doing.
Yeah, you don't know if that was a bad snap. The quarterback took his eye off of it. He had his hand on it, but it was way to his right, and it looked like he wanted to roll to his left.
Exactly. It looked like they were trying to set something up for Cross, and the snap just messed up the play, so it's going to bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 maybe for Lorain. 6-6, 5.5 to go first quarter. Dower calling out the signals, takes it, throws the quick look in, incomplete, intended for Manny Brown, and the Titans are going to have to punt on their second possession. And there's a whistle and a timeout. Lorain. Dower was over on the sidelines, and he started back out. And that looks like it might be Coach Hall that wants to talk things over. We're 6-6, 5.5 minutes in, Tom, and that possession did not go as well.
Well, the first possession was the one-play possession, so you don't really know what kind of driving they can do, if they can contain a sustained drive all the way down the field or not. So that's what we have to figure out here.
And you ran the swing pass on the first play. It made you 2nd and 9, got you off schedule.
So now you have to start throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you don't know. I mean, and I think, the second game of the freshman season, you've still got to figure out your identity.
Yeah, and like I said, I've seen these kids play junior high ball last year, and the Herald boys are runner, Dower is a runner, so they do have some runners in the backfield. Obviously, Mincy can carry the ball, so they do have some runners. So now you don't want to get behind.
Right.
You just want to do your 3 and 4 or 5 yard successful plays each time.
Yeah, you can't get off schedule with a ground attack. So back we are, 4th and 13 from the 17. Pioneers have twin safeties back across the 50 and inside the 45. The Titans come out in an offensive set, but that's Justin Sturgill over the ball. The safeties come up, and I don't think they're going to punt. They certainly aren't with that snap, and they were going to run some sort of an option, but the snap never got to the quarterback, and Elyria is going to take over at the 10 on the downs.
Yeah, I never criticize another coach's decisions, but sometimes from your own early in the game like that, you might just want to get the ball out of there and see what your defense can do. Actually, I thought with the Sturgill coming in, there's going to be a little bit of a trick and a punt.
That's exactly, and that looked like it was a under center snap rather than a gun snap of any kind. Now Lorain will take another timeout to make sure they have 11 out there. They had enough trouble stopping them the first time with a full complement. So now,
starting from the 12-yard line, a little different story.
Yes, it is. 5:22 to go in the first quarter. Lorain scored on the first play of the game, 55 yards. They kicked off. Elyria took over at their own 45. And it wasn't one play, but about 6 plays later, their 55-yard drive got them in on a 27-yard pass play. Both extra points failed, and we sit here tied at 6, but Elyria taking over now on the Lorain 12-yard line, first down.
And we see what kind of goal line defense Lorain can put up against this and, try to get out of this disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
I watched the varsity punter practice a couple times. Eddie Williamson, he takes that snap and he runs about 3 or 4 steps to the right.
Rugby style.
Exactly. And if they don't cover it, he runs it.
Yeah.
He got an escort out there. Yeah, I watched a couple of teams do that 3 or 4 years ago. That became the vogue.
There was one in college football the first weekend of the season where the guy did that and actually kicked it into they called it the butt punt. He kicked it into his blocker.
Yeah.
Beckett takes the snap, looks near side corner of the end zone, had a man but overthrew him.
Way over, yep.
On the fade pattern. That's a tough throw. Number 82, Keon Green, who caught the touchdown, was intended. Mekhi Curry, number 1 on the coverage. 2nd and 12. You're certainly in 4-down territory, so why not take a shot on 1st down? Beckett back there, Gonzalez to his right. Twins to the left, twins to the right. 2nd and 10. Fake give to Gonzalez. Keeper going nowhere. Sniffed out at the 15, going to lose 3.
I call that a disciplined defense when you can not get fooled with that quarterback counter.
Let's see, 57, Gabriel Larsosa, 28, Sean Petty among the first there. As you say, well sniffed out on the counter on the...
See, I'm guessing pass now because they're 3rd and
15.
Yeah.
Straight back. He's under heat again. He's in trouble. He gets away from one, but Larsosa gets him and drags him down for a huge loss. It's going to be 4th and 30, let's call it 32.
They can still get a 1st down.
That's right, 4th and 30.
Yeah.
They don't have to get in there. Around the 32, they got to get to basically the 2.
I don't know if that was a blitz or not, but he did come in there pretty clean. And there's a bad snap there, too.
Snap the other way. Beckett under pressure, knocked down. That's a good play.
I think that was Petty.
Petty was in there, so was 89, Marius Hernandez, but I think that was Petty on that play. And boy, when your offense gives you the ball up on the 12 and you as a defense drive it out to the 45-yard line, that's a pretty good drive for the defense.
They have more yards than the offense does without that one play,
Well, maybe even in point of fact. Because the offense went backwards the second time. So possession number 3 for Lorain. 4:04 to go first quarter. Both teams scored on their opening possessions, and both teams had problems on their second possessions. Lorain had a mishandled kickoff that resulted in deep field position and then a botched 4th down play. Davion Dower, the quarterback, fakes the handoff. He rolls under heat, passes it out to Zion Cross, who wants to come back the other way. The old Greg Pruitt tearaway jersey would have been nice there. Zion got leveled back at the 20-yard line for a loss of 25.
Now, Zion's the speedster.
Yes.
And only being a 9th grader, he realizes he can outrun anyone on a team, but you have to sometimes learn you got to give it up when it's inevitable you go down.
He can outrun all 11, but he can't outrun 11 at once. So it's going to be 2nd and an acre.
And he'll learn that.
Because he's a bright kid. 2nd and 35 on the 20. Loss was 25. Dower takes the snap, give inside, same play they scored on to open the game, and another big, huge hole. And getting a lot of that back was Dakota Mincy, the young man that scored the touchdown. Gets it out to a manageable distance. Let's call them out on the 37. They still need 10, 15, 18 yards.
But now we're looking, are they going to be able to run the ball up the middle like they've been successful, or are they going to try to pass for this last 18 yards?
And then the question is, what do you do if you go for it on your 12? Here's a toss. Slow developing. Nice cut there. Offside. He's across the 50. He's going to go.
All the way.
All the way.
Now you don't want to throw any blocks.
Michael Harrell. That's Michael Harrell. And another wonderful runner. And, boy, you talk about making your teammates look good. Harrell goes 63 yards for a touchdown when Lorain was at 3rd and 18 after losing 25 on 1st down. But the initial cut right there did so much for him, didn't it? Same play, other side. That's Cross for looking for the 2. And he got close, but he stood straight up and got knocked back. So we'll make it 12-6. If these teams have a weakness, it's extra points. So 3 touchdowns in 6.5 minutes here.
Track meet.
And both teams have lost it on downs. We've had big plays by both, The Lorain defense drove the ball 30 yards after a turnover on downs at the 12-yard line. And then the Elyria defense got 25 yards on first down before giving up that touchdown.
Yeah. Too, both offenses had problems with the snap. I think both times things, and that's another thing that ninth graders are just learning that. I know everything's in the vogue now to being a direct snap shotgun kind of thing, but it's your center that has to get the ball back there. Once they get to the varsity level, usually you don't have those kind of problems.
And it amazes me because that's got to be a blind snap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the football coaches are by and large, conservative in nature, I think. And if you want to run the spread, the first thing you have to do is to convince yourself that you're going to snap it 4 yards back where it's in the air without looking. And
if you never get up underneath center, sometimes you got to snap it back 4 yards to gain that 1 foot that you need.
And how many of these spread teams, they're better off on 3rd and 7 than they are on 3rd and 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Titans on top, 12-6 here as we get set to put it back in play. Michael Harrell, the young man that scored the touchdown, is teed it up, and he's going to kick. And Elyria with their deep man on the 15-yard line. I think we decided that was number 1, Keshawn Glover. Kick down the middle. Nope, that was
back to the 18.
Near side. That's Gonzalez, the young man that returned the first one out to the 45. Same way on the return, pulled down from behind at about the 33.
That's a definite return. You can see the wall being set up over there a little bit.
I'm laughing, Tom, because I'm looking at that return. Let's run the wall left.
Yeah.
That's what I run when I played at Masson Junior High in the 60s.
Yep.
So some things change and some things don't.
Exactly that. You have to get the ball on a return some way, and you might as well set up some sort of return.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
So Beckett in the backfield, runs near side. Personal protector back there, under pressure, has a man over the middle, dropped, could have been picked. Ball hit the ground, intended for Green. Mikkel Curry, number 1, number 6, Demarie Worthy on the play. So incomplete there. Could have been caught, could have been intercepted. Little something for both teams. It wasn't either. Boy, the safety is deep. He is 18 yards off the ball. There's a whistle, and I think we got traveling.
Oh, they called it on Elyria, I think.
That time, I believe that the center moved the ball.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Well, the player right over the center is the only one that moved.
Yeah, so it wasn't a quarterback's inflection on his voice.
So 2nd and 15.
So they're changing they're putting trips over on this side.
3 to the near side. Beckett in the backfield. Fakes. It's the zone read play. Yep. Beckett's got a bunch of it back. He's out near the first down, right at the sticks at the 45.
See, that's that. Put all your receivers on this side. You got to put most of your defense this way, and then you run the other way.
The spread offense allows teams to formation defenses, for want of a better. I know it's not a verb, but that's what they did. If we put 3 out, you got to put 3 out. So we'll run to the other side. 1st and 10, Pioneers at the 45 on the mark. Beckett that time had it blocked, trying to throw the little bubble screen, and Justin Sturgill, number 12, got a paw on the football and knocked it down.
Yeah, we might see Justin a quarterback last year. Last year he was a very nice quarterback for, I'm going to say, Johnny Wilson.
Yes, he was. That quarterback is in motion. I don't care. I don't think anybody will call. He throws it as far as he can.
Just out of the
marked
hands.
Incomplete. Almost picked by Curry. The fans are getting a little anxious. Manny Brown never made a play on the football, but you know what? It's high school football. You don't have to. In the NFL, you'd have seen a flag for face guarding.
Face guarding is what we called it, yeah.
That's not a penalty that you get in high school. But, 2 or 3 times now, Beckett has been moving as the snap came back. So, 3rd and 10 Elyria at their own 45. Snap back, rolling left. This is just the student body left. He's going to be short. Whoa. Good hit. Knocked him out of bounds was 27, Dakota Mincy. That's been the hardest hit of the game thus far. Gain about, let's call it 5. It's going to be 4th and 5. Let's see if Elyria is as adventurous as
I think they are. I didn't see
Lorain.
anybody send
4th
anybody
and
new
6.
in. Yep.
Nobody new coming in. So Beckett will be in the backfield with number 9, Marco Gonzalez. 2 to the right, 2 to the left in the receiver situation. Maybe they're going to try and jump.
Yeah. It's not working. Yeah, and call time. Yeah.
He was signaling with, first off, with his back to the official, and then when he turned, it's okay to say something, son. So if the Pioneers take time out with 1:13 to go, Lorain in the first quarter, Lorain on top, 12-6. The situation 4th and 6 at the 49-yard line. Excuse me.
If they would have got him to jump on there, it still wouldn't have been the first down. But they would have had to make a decision on 4th and 1. You know, I watched that quarterback that last time you said in motion. He is stepping sideways, but I think you are allowed to go sideways. One guy's allowed to be in motion as long as he's not forward.
The question is he simulating a snap?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he is the quarterback. Sideways, if you're a running back or a receiver, is fine. But is the quarterback, doing that, simulating the snap? I don't,
A few years ago, when I was a single wing center in high school, we had to center the ball where he was going to be, not where he was then. Now, this direct snap back there is all the way different because it's directly back to the person. But we used to have to get him 1 or 2 yards into the hole already.
Yeah. You say it, and I remember it.
Yeah.
When I was in college, we ran the single wing. So they're going to go 4th and 6. Beckett back out, looking for the direct snap. Again, twins right and left. Coming near side, rolls, cuts it up. He's going to he's going to get there as 2 defenders run into each other. And
a little shuffle pass.
Never had to do anything there. Number 1, Curry, got tangled up with a blocker, and the 2 guys funneling from the inside knocked each other down. So it's a big gainer for Beckett on 4th and 6, down to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. A minute to go, first quarter.
I thought Lorain was looking for the quarterback to run the ball rather than that little shuffle pass.
There it is again. Beckett's going to keep it, and he's going to wing it under. And that one, as well as he threw the ball the first time he rolled left and turned back, he didn't get his shoulders at all square that way. And the receiver never had a chance. That is the toughest pass in football.
He's a right-handed quarterback rolling left, and he'll learn. You gotta do some things when you're going opposite your hand. Set your feet a little differently.
You know who does that as well as anybody I've ever seen is Johnny Mansell.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. We'll see come Sunday what's going to happen.
Yeah. 2nd and 10, Elyria. All alone in the backfield is Beckett. There's the quick pass, the bubble. That's Gonzalez, breaks 2 tackles, still on his feet, 1st down and more, inside the 20, inside near the 15-yard line, call it, when he goes out of bounds.
He's Sturgill. Sturgill's a defender out there. He made the gamble to go for the interception, and it was just off his fingertips. Now he stays back and makes the tackle.
Yep.
So sometimes you got to give up the pass to make the tackle. That would have been a 1-yard gain.
Yep. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 15, under 30 seconds to play in the quarter. Snap.
Quarterback draw.
Draw. Straight ahead inside the 10 is Beckett. Brought down by the middle of the defense, trying to get some numbers for you. Sturgill was there again. I think 57, Larsosa was in on that from his defensive tackle spot. He's going to get a blow. The pace of this quarter has been unbelievable in terms of possessions. The bubble screen, off 1, off 2, and if it bounced a little bit the other way, we'd have had a 95-yard touchdown. Because
I was looking for that. I was looking for that after the first bounce.
1.6 seconds to go in the quarter as the clock stops on the incompletion.
Now they can get a first down. I think they're not quite.
Oh yeah, they're on the 10. Yeah, they need to go to get to the 5 for a first down. So 2 in the backfield on either side of Beckett. Twins to the left. And he looks
Kinda
to
like
keep
an
it
option,
again.
yeah.
Nothing doing. He's down at the 10. Whistle sounds. It's going to be 4th and 5 for Elyria, but the long walk north for both teams. We've seen a heck of a quarter, Tom.
Very good.
After one, Lorain 12, Elyria 6. Back with second quarter action right after this. Timeout.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yes, for a nicer day, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gonna get some big ones. Anybody want to wear a life jacket?
I'm good.
No life jacket? That's a deal breaker.
Daddy, you promised.
Daniel Stevens.
Yeah, give me one of those life jackets.
This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council and the women who nag you. Love you.
Jay Ferguson, Tom Bauer back here at George Daniel Field. Freshman football action. The Elyria Pioneers with 4th down and 5 on the Lorain 10-yard line. Lorain on top after one, 12-6. Beckett, the quarterback, 16. Gonzalez to his right, number 9. Twins right, Twins left. Straight back to pass, now in trouble. He's got a man. Knocked away at the last minute. Good closing speed by Mecky Curry to knock it from Keon Green. And
I don't see them changing.
there's a flag in the end zone.
He certainly didn't call that interference, did he?
I can't believe he did.
Did he come down over the kid's arms? Aren't you supposed to come down over the arms on a pass like that?
I have no idea what this call might be. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Lorain. First down us. You know what? It was that penalty was not physical.
Right. Now I say, yeah. Now this happened in the Midview game, and they didn't get that call, if I remember correctly. There was a dead ball foul, and I think they gave the ball back to Midview, even though it was an incomplete pass. Or roughing the passer, I think what they called, but they didn't call roughing the passer. They called it a late hit dead ball. And I think the officials might apologize later for the blown call, but that didn't take back the touchdown that they scored the next play.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when all is said and done here,
Lorain's going to be on about the 5-yard line.
A lot more has been said than done.
Yeah.
And Lorain's going to have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 5. The penalty half the distance to the goal costs them 5 yards, but they'd rather have that than a touchdown, and it's a teachable moment for the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Because Curry made a beautiful play. He just didn't need to yap about it after he did, to be quite honest.
He did have to explain it to you.
Yeah. Dower is the quarterback. Runners right and left, hitting the backfield and tossed back into the end zone.
They're going to call that out to the 1-yard line, I think. Yeah, gave him to the 1-yard line.
And well, they should have. And this is one of the problems. Dakota Mincy just never had a chance as they shot a linebacker. And he was grabbed. The contact was at the 1 and then was thrown back into the end zone.
You got to get forward progress in there somewhere.
And here's the problem that you have with the spread and the shotgun snap.
He's going back 4 yards.
Now, this is Justin Sturgill at where's he at? He's going to the wing. Both quarterbacks are in. 3 receivers left. Clock is moving now. Dower takes it, rolls to his left, comes out of the end zone, got out to the 5, and they didn't bring him down.
Yeah. Whistle stopped the play, and they got some breathing room now.
Got out to the 6, so he gained about 5. It's going to bring out 3rd down and 9. On the 6 for the Titans, which is a whole lot better than where it was.
Yeah, breathing room.
Brendan Deniff, 20, Dakota Mincy, 27 in the backfield, replacing Sturgill and Harrell. Dower again, the quarterback, backs to each side, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, and the receivers on the old cross buck.
And I think he got a 1st down.
No, he's 5 yards. He's off by 5, but he sure moved the pile a little bit, and that was 27 Mincy.
So I thought he had a chance to break that tackle.
Now the gain it's 4th down and 5 from this almost exact same position last time they were there. The Titans did not punt and turned it over on downs, and then Elyria went backwards to the 45-yard line and turned it over on downs.
They got Dower back.
1 back in the backfield with him. I believe that's Mincy. calls for the ball, drops it, falls on it. Well, it doesn't matter who picks it up. It's going to be Elyria's ball inside the 10. But they were going to run some sort of a rollout to the right, and Dower just left too soon. It didn't appear to be that bad of a snap. Elyria is going to have it 1st and goal at the 9 following the turnover on, we'll call it on downs, because I think Dower fell on the football, but that's just statistics. Doesn't matter. It's Elyria's ball. And Dante Beckett is the quarterback. Number 9, Marco Gonzalez to his right. Drops straight back, looking now, rolling to his right. He's under pressure and brought down from behind on a nice play by Sean Petty.
I'm going to call that a coverage sack because I looked deep and everyone was well covered.
Mincy was there, and so was Guadalupe Matos, number 48 for the Titans. So good job by the secondary that time. Now Harrell comes back in, and out comes Dower. The quarterback playing both ways as well. 12-6 Lorain. Had trouble with the snap. Nicely done by Beckett. He floats it out. He had a man who made a diving catch, and it was a good catch. Back to about the original line of scrimmage, the 9, where it's going to be 3rd down and goal. And, boy, Lorain gets a break there. You know, first off, Elyria gets a break because the quarterback was able to hold the snap. Then Lorain gets a break because that receiver was uncovered. But the ball.
And he had to dive out there on the ground.
He had to dive for the ball, or he'd have walked into the end zone.
But it was a beautiful catch.
Yes, it was. Beckett all by himself in the backfield. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Drops back, looks, bubble screen. Receiver, and the receiver went to the knee as well. So had Gonzalez been able to catch it, he'd have been down right there, which is the line of scrimmage. So no harm, no foul for anyone. 4th and 9 from the 9. Two to the right, 2 to the left. Beckett takes it, rolls right, drops it, puts it on the ground. The defense held again.
Is that deja vu all over again?
Oh, my gosh. Michael Harrell, 32, and Guadalupe Matos there to land on Harrell on Beckett as he landed on the football. This time the defense started at the 9 and drove to the 15, so they didn't get as far this time. But another great job by the White Hats on defense, turning it over 1st and 10 at their own 15. So, Tom, you know, they didn't look good on that opening drive, but since then they've held from the 12 and the 9. That's big-time defense.
And that's a lot of confidence in your defense, not punting from those areas.
Now, this is going to be Sturgill, Justin Sturgill at quarterback. Dakota Mincy to the near side, and he's going to turn and throw it out to Mincy. And that's not Mincy, excuse me. That's Dower, the other quarterback. And fortunately for Lorain, they played the man, not the ball, because
that was interceptable.
That was very interceptable. It's a couple times they've tried that play to no avail, and it just looks to me like things are too tight there for there to be enough space for that to get anywhere.
Where you're doing it into the sideline.
Right. And then the formation is very tight, and you're running out of the backfield rather than from the slot. Sturgill turns, hands straight ahead.
Harold again, I think.
Yeah, that's Harold. Got we'll call it 1. Going to be 3rd and 9. If I'm a defensive player on the sidelines, I'm saying, not again, guys. Let's get one here.
Let's get a 1st down on this one.
I don't believe Lorain punted at all last week against Midview.
I don't remember at all,
in the JV game, in the freshman game, rather. And I didn't see the game, but I think Brian Corey told me that. So now this is Dower at quarterback. Straight back, going to throw it for all he can. Intended for and caught by Manny Brown, number 17. He's out near midfield where he's pulled down by Deontay Horton. It takes a couple of things to make a play like that. The line's got to block. The quarterback from jump was going to that one deep receiver, and then Manny Brown made a good adjustment on a catchable ball. because he was looking inside and it came outside, and he adjusted on the ball beautifully. So 1st and 10 for the Titans from the 45, and the defense says thank you. Dower with Sturgill to his left and Harrell to his right. 3 to the left, he swings it out. That's Zion Cross. He breaks one tackle. Now we'll see his speed.
Yeah,
there he goes.
Right there.
He's leaving.
Yeah.
He's leaving. This is 55 yards.
Yeah. He outran all of everyone's pursuit angles because they all had a little pursuit angle on. He just outran that pursuit angle. Yeah.
Zion Cross takes a swing pass 55 yards. It's the second 55-yard scoring play for the Titans. 55 yards from Dower, and it's 18 looking for 20.
Now, he participated in a lot of track meets.
In the spring. He did very well. And I think he won the state 100 and 200 in the junior high track meets. Now this is Devin Sturgill at quarterback. Cross is to his left, and to the near side is 27 Mincy. They've run the sweep and the handoff. This is a fake and a throw, and that was easy.
Yeah.
Justin Sturgill, 2 yards to Michael Harrell, who was all alone. And
it was the first extra point we've seen in 4 touchdowns.
It was.
Yeah, but it was a nice play.
It was beautifully executed. I mean, they'd gone left twice. They went on the quarterback keep to the left. They went on the give to the left, and they faked left that time, and everybody went that way except for Michael Harrell. And Sturgill didn't have to do much with that one to get it where it had to go. So the Titans are on top by 14, 20-6, 4:53 to go in the second quarter. And Tom, we talked a little bit about it while we were off camera. New rule in high school football in Ohio this year. We're not anywhere close to doing it, but when a team falls behind by 30 in the second half, the clock starts to run.
Just continuous clock.
And, it happened in a couple games. Like it happened in the Medina-Brunswick game. I know Medina was down big. It happened in the Avon Lake-Avon game.
It did for sure.
Ended 44-7, and that basically the whole second half was played under a running clock.
I think the only time the clock stops is a timeout.
Timeout and quarter, I think.
Yeah, incomplete passes, keep it going.
Yep.
Out of bounds, keep it going.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe change of possession. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it is a change of possession. You stop the clock. And I don't know if there's a different signal out there, but I think the official gives the clock girl a different signal.
That makes sense. Now this is interesting. They're at the 40. Okay. Teeing it up. This is a part of their game that needs a little bit of work, putting the ball on the tee. Michael Harrell is the kicker. He's as guarded right now as he was on that extra point pass, Tom.
No one around him, you mean?
He's kicking from north to south here. We're underway again. That one's going to skip at about the 30 and basically roll dead. Picked up about the 26, out across the 40, and knocked out of bounds is the quarterback, Beckett. And, when you stop and think about it, freshman football in high school is the only level that you play with one grade.
Yeah, that's true.
You can play JV 10th and 11th graders, varsity.
Everybody.
Anybody, 11th and 12th, and occasionally a good 10th or 9th grader. Yeah. But freshman, you've got 9th graders, so you don't get as much specialization. You see the quarterback playing defense and things like that.
Well, even in junior high, we had some 7th graders move up to 8th grade just because of their talent.
Yeah. That one went nowhere. Yeah. That was Gonzalez, and that was well sniffed out. Marius Hernandez, 89. Guadalupe made us 48. And going to be a loss of about 5 as they just smothered the back in the backfield. They could have almost taken the handoff. Yeah. They were there so quick.
No, I'm running little stunts. I'm watching linebackers tapping down men.
Had to dribble the ball before he picked it up, and again a hit in the backfield is the quarterback. Off the botched snap. That's 27, Mincy, who got there, but that was just a mess from the start as Beckett never got the snap cleanly. He was moving to his right, and the snap was down away from him. He could only get one hand on it. So it's now 3rd and 21 for Elyria.
So I'm watching Sean Pettit right there in the middle. There's Mike linebacker, they're calling him. He's shooting. I think he's putting a little bit of heat on the center, actually.
Beckett was under pressure but got that one away and got a first down, but the ball came out, and it looks to me like there's a Titan on that football.
I'm sure there is. I seen blue shirts with the ball.
There is a Titan on that football.
Just catching the pass was in traffic like that, but
Dakota Mincy ended up with the football. That was a heck of a throw because Beckett got hit as he released that ball, and it was still a spiral downfield. Now, he didn't get enough on it, so it was in traffic. Yeah. 2 Titans there. I believe one of them was number 6, Worthy, and the other one was Mincy. And the ball was caught, and it was going to be a first down.
And he did make a football move after he brought it down. He took a step or two.
Then it got bopped out from behind, and Lorain on top and takes over again from their lucky spot, their own 45-yard line.
Because they've had 2 55ers.
2 55-yard plays, so let's see what they dial up this time. Justin Sturgill is the quarterback. Dakota Mincy and Michael Harrell are on either side of him. Twins to the right, single receiver left. Snap, straight ahead give. That's Harrell, 32, I believe. He's got 5 or so out to the 50. Good gain on first. We have not seen. That's the play that's been missing from this game, Tom, is the 5-yard gain.
Where you see a 2nd and 5 and wonder what they're going to do. Yeah.
We've had long plays and we've had 2nd and 14. Injured Pioneer on the play, 3:22 to go. The injured player is 17, Griffin Schmidt. And in this weather, we don't want to speculate, but
a little bit of heat.
Gives me time to talk about Lorain City Schools WLCS TV 20 and all the different ways you can get sports action and information from TV 20. Of course, on Time Warner Cable, you can dial us up on Channel 20. But also, you can go to Facebook and friend Lorain Schools TV 20 on Facebook, and you can win some nice prizes, and you can get scoring updates and things like that. Or you can go to Twitter, and you can follow us on at LCS_TV20 for scoring updates during the away games and things like that. Or you can go to YouTube and search Lorain Schools TV 20, all one word, and watch us in high definition, as all the contests are on YouTube now. Joe Bach tells me that last Friday's game against Midview is up 4 days later. I'm sure the Toledo people like that, Joe. 2nd and 5 for the Titans. That's Dower, gives straight ahead. I think that's Harrell again. It is. Falling forward, going to be about 3rd and 1. We've established that this is 4-down territory, Tom.
Yeah. Every place on the field's been 4-down territory so far. So without a punter.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of bad snaps that way for your punt team. And some of the varsity staff made its way over to the sidelines. Dower is in the backfield. That's Harrell to his left, Mincy to his right. Now you got to go 5 yards to get one of the issues with the spread. And there it is, and it's going to be real close. That was a heck of a run by Dakota Mincy, because he was hit back near the 50, and it was all, as they say, yards after contact, and it's going to be real close.
Oh, my.
Well, nice spot for the Titans. Ball straddles the 45-yard line, and I think touching it would have been enough, and it did. So 1st and 10, Lorain. 2:17 to go. Titans have 1 timeout left. They burned a couple early. Now Dower comes in as the clock starts. Dower's we got issues now. Off comes Mincy. And Zion Cross comes to the near side. 1 back, trips to the right, 1 to the left. And Dower calls for the snap, takes it, rolls near side. Looks to be a keeper. And it's not going to be a lot there. Let's start with the good news.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not start with the good news. They kept the clock running, so it's going to be a loss of about 4 or 5. And that was just a straight keeper.
Yeah.
The young man rolled out with the ball under his arm, as a running back would carry it rather than as a quarterback would carry it. So there was no need for the defense to protect anything. Loss is going to be about 3. 2nd and 13. We're at 1:25. Clock is running as Lorain goes into a huddle, not in any kind of hurry.
Playing for the last play. I mean, that's a basketball concept.
Yeah,
but
you've got you've got 2 touchdown lead, but you got to kick off to start the half.
Yeah.
So, kind of a muddle huddle here. Players all over the place. Cross finally comes near side to be the second receiver. 2 in the backfield on next to Dower. Under a minute as the snap comes back. Whistle.
Yeah, I'm thinking Elyria was jumped the gun just a little bit.
Did.
Yeah.
From the far side, we're going to get offsides Pioneers with 58.2 to play. Picks up 5, and maybe more importantly, it stops the clock and lets the Titans get set, because dawdle is not a word that you use a lot around football, but that's what they were doing to get to the line. They're still kind of wandering. And again, you know, two middle schools coming together, second game of the season. You don't get to practice clock management other than during game. Dower, personal protector back there, but he's under pressure from both defensive ends. Now he cuts back, cuts upfield, forgot the football, and it's on the ground, and I think it's Elyria's.
Yeah. Well, now they have 33 seconds. I don't think they're going to be dawdling.
Yeah, 76, Antonio Wyatt on the ball. Dimitri Noble was there for Lorain, just couldn't wrestle it away. So there's 33.3 to go. Lorain turns it over at the Elyria 47-yard line. And back comes Elyria with Beckett in the backfield. And that's Gonzalez to his right. Twins each way. Going to turn, throw the quick bubble, and dropped by Keon Green.
Yeah, but that stops the clock with
David Weatherington, 13 there on the coverage. Elyria with 2 timeouts remaining. Ball is spotted. Some teams are so spread-oriented. There's a bad snap as the quarterback started to roll, and I think the Titans fell on that one. And guess who? The guy that dropped it for the Titans recovered it. Well, that's Dower, the quarterback, landed on the football defensively, so thank you very much. The Titans pick up about 8 yards.
I was going to say 10. I was going to say 10, but I only lost 9 seconds on the clock.
So Lorain will come out on the Elyria 40-yard line, and I don't know what they're going to call here, but I would think that you'd want to get the ball into Zion Cross's hands at least once.
See him go deep. Well, and he don't have to go deep. You can see over there. He cut that little swing out of the backfield. And
the problem here is I might try to run something to one side or the other because the ball's in the middle of the field. Yeah. And you just want that young man to have some perimeter. So here we go, 24.9. Lorain up 20-6. Davion Dower, the quarterback, is alone in the backfield with Dakota Mincy. Bunch to the left, one to the right, and that's the way he's going, and that's
Manny Brown.
Manny Brown, the young man that caught the big one earlier. Single coverage out there, and he just couldn't reach it. He made a nice adjustment on the ball yet again, and that cost him about 5 seconds, but that's okay.
I met Manny Brown at we served him hot dogs for the boosters, and met Manny. I said he has to take a drama class because he's that type of person. I don't know if you've ever had him in school.
No, I haven't.
Very personable.
There's the in cut there, and he dropped the football that time.
I'm going to stop talking about him because maybe that's putting a jinx.
Well, to tell you the truth, Tom, if he'd have held that, he was down short of a first down, it might have ended the half.
Yeah.
So if there's a
bright side to that, they can go one more play, I'm sure.
15.8.
Something's going to go deep.
You would think. Or, as we said, Mr. Cross.
And he's out there in that left slot.
Got enough guts to run a hook and ladder. Run the quick slant with the outside receiver and try. They were trying to run something like that at one point last week in the varsity game. Here's Zion.
Here, fake jet.
Fake the jet sweep. And that's not going to work so well. Clock runs as it's under 10 seconds. That's going to turn out to be the last play of the half on the big loss. Dower never had a chance, and that's going to be the end of the first half. So a lot of action in the first half of football, Tom. Lorain 20, Elyria 6 in freshman action. Back at George Daniel with second half after these timeouts.
The Warriors to Work program makes it possible for wounded warriors and their families to build new lives together.
When my dad left, I was like this big, but now I'm like this big. My dad got a master's degree in human resources.
Thanks to Warriors to Work that my dad has a terrific job.
The Wounded Warrior Project helps him by, giving him another start.
Now that my dad's home, I get a lot more hugs.
I'm really proud of him.
Find out more about Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Jay Ferguson, Tom Bauer, Joe Bach back here at George Daniel. Freshman football action ready to start the third quarter as Michael Harrell tees it up for the Titans, puts his foot in the ball, and we're underway. That's down to number 1, Glover. He's to the 35, knocked back.
Someone still
looks like a rodeo out there. Where's the rope?
Got a hog time when you got his ankle.
And just kind of stood up and held right there at the 35. Looked to me like that was a Sean Eccles 81 that had part of that hit. So Elyria will take over from there, 1st and 10 on the 35. Real entertaining first half, Tom. Lorain on top 20-6, but we had everything. We had long plays, we had defensive stands, we had fumbles, and
people like offense.
Now we've got 12 on the field for Lorain.
I think he snuck off and no one's seen him.
Yeah, he's just now getting off. The play is going to go to the left side on the little swing for a gain of about 1 for the Pioneers. We'll reset them. Dante Beckett is the quarterback, 16, number 9, Marco Gonzalez to his right. Wide to the right, 82 is Keon Green. Keyshawn Glover, number 1, in the slot. Here's the roll, and that's Glover to the 40, hit there.
I think the ground caused that fumble.
Ground caused that fumble. David Weatherington instantly on the tackle, gain of 4, 3rd and 5. We haven't seen a lot of these. We've seen 3rd and 30, 4th and,
Yeah.
But we haven't seen a lot of 3rd and 5s. 2 big stands by the Lorain defense, the difference in the first half, as they held when the Pioneers got the ball at the 12 and then again at the 9. Full backfield, Beckett rolls, throws, had a man through the hands of Green.
That was the same play that they scored their very first touchdown on. The outside man runs that little curl in to pull everyone in while he runs a little swing route.
Yep, and he was clear again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 4th and 5. And one thing we haven't seen in this game thus far has been a punt.
And I'm willing to bet we're not going to see any.
No, there's.
Yeah, if you don't punt from your own.
You're not going to punt from the 10. You're not going to punt from the 45. Well, maybe they are. Beckett's deep. He's 10 yards behind the center. And Lorain's believing it. At least they're dropping someone back. I think that's Zion Cross, about 20 yards downfield. So Beckett 10 yards deep in what appears to be punt formation, takes it one step, boots it, and it goes sideways. I don't think you can do that, son. That's going to be interesting to see how they sort it out. It was caught by the Elyria end, Keon Green. Now,
I think you can if you don't interfere with the receiving team.
Okay, I thought the kicking team had to wait and hit it. You know, that's one of those rules that you don't see
ever.
Yeah, and the upshot of the deal is it was a 5-yard punt, and Lorain's going to take over at the 45. But this time it's the 45 of Elyria. They had two 55-yard scoring plays in the first half. Real quickly, Lorain opened scoring. First play from scrimmage. Mincy went 55 yards. Elyria on a 27-yard pass tied it. It was Harrell on a 63-yard run and Zion Cross on a 55-yard swing pass. There's the play that opened the game right there. And that time good for 6 yards. That was Dakota Mincy. The first play of the game, they ran that little up the middle off the guard play, and it opened like the Basco Bridge, and he went untouched 55 yards. Gain is going to be 6. We'll call it 2nd and 4. Titans at the 39.
Harold jumps out to that slot and makes it trips right.
Oops. It's going to be interesting because they're going to call it on Elyria. 76 for Elyria. Antonio Wyatt jumped. And then the lineman for Lorain flinched. 56, Dimitri Noble backed up when he saw Wyatt come at him. So the line up front for Lorain's done a pretty good job. It's Ortiz, Rogers, 94, David Larson, 57, Gabe Larsosa. We'll get the one we missed. Zion Cross to the right. 1st and 10 for Lorain. Dower pitched across. He's got speed to burn, and he's made a nice cut inside, and the receiver just needed to hold the block for one more second, and I think he didn't realize how long it took the play to develop because they ran it to the right side of the field. They got 4 on the play.
So there's a successful play in my book.
1st and 10, now you're on schedule, 2nd and 6. But with his speed, the receivers will learn that if you hold your blocks. That was Manny Brown, who had a wonderful first half and had a couple of nice blocks on scoring plays in the first half. Now this is Dower at quarterback, and Michael Harrell is to his right this time. Trips two to the left. Dower's got it on the keep. He's going to get the edge this time. His physical size is going to get him inside right at the 25. They're going to call him down.
This will be a close, how they spot this one. Well, no, it won't be. 3rd and 1.
Brendan Fenton, number 4, stops Dower, but not before he picked up 4. So again, Tom, on schedule. 3rd and 1, and the Titans are on the field, so it's 4-down territory.
Now you see what your line's made of, because I think they're going to go up the middle.
Let's see. This is Sturgill. Now he comes in at quarterback. Cross goes into the slot. It's interesting because it's almost a waist down. Justin Sturgill gives straight ahead. Nowhere to go. In fact, we're going to lose a yard. And that was number 20, Brendan Deniff.
The play I like to see now is that little one where the quarterback fakes it and then throws a pass. The quarterback counter pass.
Sure.
It was so wide open for the extra point.
4th in, call it 2 on the loss. Sturgill come back. Sturgill is the one that threw the pass on the counter play. So it certainly was the counter to the play they just ran. So we'll see what happens here. Justin Sturgill will be the quarterback. Michael Harrell, 32, and Brendan Deniff, 20 on either side. Twins to the right, give straight ahead. That's Harrell. Bounces it outside, 1st down more.
Harrell can go all the way at any time.
Good night. Yep. Michael Harrell goes 26 untouched. And there was a heck of a block out on the This corner by the receiver.
Is that Manny Brown again?
I think Zion Cross was out there and got one downfield. But the third quarter opens with Lorain, 26-yard run by Harrell. And the fourth touchdown for the Titans. Extra point, 2-point attempt. Justin Sturgill takes it, hands, keeps, rolls near side, fakes, tries to split the defense, drags them. It's close.
Not quite. I see the signal, yeah. Almost, but not quite.
I think it was a matter of the leg coming down on the turf.
But I do see a penalty flag out there.
I do, too. You know what? For a freshman football game in early September, this has been relatively penalty-free. We've had a couple of offsides, and we had one unsportsmanlike conduct. So it'll be interesting to see what do we get here.
Must be Lorain. They're going to cancel.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike.
Both teams. Is that what that means?
I saw Lorain, but I didn't see a signal the other way. Did you?
No.
So I'm not sure if it's, and he came over to the sideline to talk to Coach
Joyner,
Hall.
Yeah.
Was that
Joyner, I think, yeah.
Okay, that there was some yipping going on. Now, I don't know who the penalty was on or if he made a single, like, keep him on the sidelines, Coach.
Well, you see where you're going to line up the ball. Is it going to be on the 40 or are they going to move him back?
Let's see. So, Coach is discussing with the defense the offense there, that situation, and that was inside the offensive line there someplace, and there were 3 offensive linemen sitting right there listening intently. So, what a good place to get somebody's attention on your extra point for your 20-point lead. And Lorain goes up 26-6, and. Manny Brown put the ball on the tee that time, and he put it going backwards. The wrong way. Yeah. And I'm not sure what this is, whether Michael Harrell has got some sort of phobia or it's a luck thing that somebody else has to spot it for him. But he kicks it, but he doesn't put it on the tee. Foot into it, straight ahead kick, comes down at about the 20, bounces away, picked up there by Fenton. Fenton gets ahead to the 25 and nothing else. Good special teams play there. And that was the kicker, number 32, Michael Harrell.
I watched Michael Harrell from Longfellow last year for a couple games, and then talking to his coach, T. King, said he may be one of the best tailbacks he coached at that age.
Wow.
And Terry has had a lot of them.
And there's been some.
Yeah.
I mean,
some good ones, yeah. He said Harrell fits right up in there with some of his best. He said every time he touched the ball, he had the potential to go all the way.
Elyria takes it 1st and 10 at the 25. Lorain by 20 right now. Inside handoff, no. Guadalupe made us, and 64, who I don't have a number for. I'm going to apologize to that young man now and maybe guess it's either Rayshawn Ortiz or number 54 on our roster, who's listed as a defensive tackle. So that's how I'm going to guess it. 2nd and 15, a loss of 5. I apologize to that young man. Do not have a 64 listed. That's Green on the swing pass. He's going the wrong way, too. Lots of Titans.
Host of Titans there.
Yep. Number 1, Curry. Number 9 is Chris Serrano. Number 13, David Weatherington. Another loss of 5. The defense is driving again, Tom. The defense had about 60 yards in total offense the first half. Let's see what they can do here.
Well, they've already pushed them back, 10?
Yeah. 3rd and call it 19. There's that snap on the run. And just straight ahead, gets the losses back out to the 25, does Beckett. 64, Rashawn Ortiz. Curry was there, as was 13, David Weatherington. 4th and 10. Now, we did see a punt last possession. Dante Beckett dropped back 10 yards to kick. There's a whistle and a timeout, and I think this is an equipment malfunction.
I see he took something off.
He's got something off for sure. Well, I think that looks like it might be a shoe. And that's not the thing you want your kicker to not have. Unless he's a barefoot soccer
kicker
style.
You remember him way back there in the day?
Yes. I'm at a loss for a name. But
yeah, the barefooted kicker.
Yeah. Manny, this is Manny, nope, wrong 17. This is Griffin Schmidt, the backup punter. Zion Cross deep. He's only at about the 47 of Elyria. Snap back, kick up. Zion drifts over the 50, lets it hit, and it hops backwards and down right about the 49.
Nice gesture out there in the field. Zion picked up number 1, who's his adversary.
Yep, and you know, one of the things, Tom, there's not, do they punt in junior high?
No.
So
no,
since there's no punting, returning punts is something that these guys have to learn. You know, Zion will learn to come up and field that ball in the air as he develops. And with his speed, you certainly want him doing that.
Some leagues do, some leagues don't.
Right.
You get in an away game, they tell you you're going to do so you have to put the punt in on the sidelines.
Yep. Okay, Titans with the ball, 1st and 10 on the 49 of Elyria. 2:11 to go. The lead is 20. Dower at quarterback, turned, spread out. He has a receiver on the slant, good for about 8. Trevon Morgan, 88. Good hit by Deontay Horton, number 8 from Elyria, as well as 17, Griffin Schmidt. But the Titans will pick up 4 there on 1st down, and as we say, back on schedule again. That's a good thing.
Yep. Because this quarter went much faster because of that.
Yep. Well, this is the second possession. Each team had 3 possessions in the first quarter, and there were touchdowns and drives galore. Dower looks things over, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, takes the snap, turns, gives, and he gave, and Elyria took away. Dakota Mincy hit on the negative side of the 45, going to lose a couple. He's helped to the huddle, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6. Call it, maybe they're going to move it back farther, 7.
Wow.
Maybe even 8.
So now we're off schedule, and I'm looking for a pass this play.
Right. So it's Dower coming in. Harrell and Cross are the backs. Now joined by Deniff, number 20, and Harrell goes out to the wing. Calls for the snap, turns, gives whistle. There was traveling, Lorain had some problems getting set out there on the far side of the field. Both receivers initially lined up on the line of scrimmage, which if it's a running play like it was, doesn't matter. Because you can't be ineligible downfield. But they realized it and they adjusted and just never got reset. So it's going to cost them 5, and it's going to be 3rd and about 14. Actually, 15 with the penalty. Looked like they marked off 6. Trips to the right, including Dower, the quarterback. This is Cross taking the snap. He's going to turn, and he's going to cut it up, look for a hole where he can run. He's got to get to the outside, and he's out there. Let's see, he's down the sideline and pulled out, but not before a 1st down, and then
penalty.
I think we're going to get a frustration foul on Elyria there. Zion Cross just said, I'm going to be an athlete.
Nice little spin. Very nice little spin out of there.
He turned it into a counter play and got down inside the 35. They needed the 39 for the 1st down, so he got more than enough. Then a late flag, and I think it was the frustration, and Elyria player grabbed him as he was clearly out of bounds, and will march down 15 yards closer. And with 9.6 seconds left in the 3rd, Lorain will put it in scrimmage, 1st and 10 at about the 17-yard line. Dower set, ball marked for play. Clock will start on the snap. There's the give to Cross, straight ahead. No, it wasn't Cross, excuse me.
That was a little counter, nice little counter action.
That was Deniff.
Yeah. I seen it coming because I seen the lineman. I don't see a number, but I seen some orange socks on the trap play.
Okay.
What lineman could that have been?
Could it have been shoes instead, 65?
Maybe that was it. Orange shoes coming at you?
Okay, that would be Oscar Maldonado. We've played 3 quarters at the George. Lorain 26, Elyria 6. Back with fourth quarter action right after this timeout.
One of my biggest passions in life is animals. That's why I've worked with Morris Animal Foundation for over 40 years. Morris Animal Foundation is a world leader in helping animals live longer, healthier lives. You can too. Just show your support at morrisanimalfoundation.org.
To help cats, dogs, horses, and wildlife live healthier lives, visit morrisanimalfoundation.org, where we are advancing science that will create a healthier tomorrow for animals.
Back at George Daniel Field, Jay Ferguson, Tom Bauer for the fourth quarter of freshman football. Lorain on top of Elyria 26-6, second and 10 from the 16 of Elyria. Dower, the quarterback, pitches to Harrell, and he's going to get to the line of scrimmage and not much more. That time they ran the toss to the short side, and Elyria had it bottled up. So it's going to be third and about 10.
The coaches must see something personnel-wise to go to the short side. Is Elyria putting one extra guy wide? That's what my only guess.
It seems like that toss is just taking forever. Yeah. I don't know. You know, usually you think of that toss as a quick developing
pitch.
play,
What,
and the back is almost waiting for it. And it costs Lorain the ability to use speed out of the backfield. Harrell all alone in the backfield now with Dower. Trips to the right. There's the turn and the toss, and Harrell's got it, and he cuts it up. And not much there. In fact, he's going to lose yardage. It's going to bring up fourth down, and let's drop him back about a yard. Fourth and call it 11.
You know, a play I like to see out of this team is they fake the jet earlier. I like to see them run the jet one time.
Yeah. They've had trouble with that kind of fake motion, though, the interior of the line, which has largely done a good job coming off the ball when they've had to delay block like that. They've had some problems with the motion in those longer plays. So, yeah, I agree with you. It'd be nice to see, especially with the speed that they've got that can get to the outside. You'd love to see them that line up one of the fast guys across or somebody to the near side like he is in the slot and just run the jet to the wide side of the field. Quick snap there, and nobody was set.
And then beyond Lorain, but I don't think that's going to be a problem because now it's going to
It's not going to change the strategy.
No.
Justin Sturgill, the quarterback that time, he seems to be like a fourth down extra point kind of specialist, which is a tough way to make a go of it.
But it's nice working 2 quarterbacks in as your 9th grade because someone's going to come out ahead for the next few years, and the other one will be an athlete playing somewhere else.
Yep. And they both have played at other places today, too. Justin Sturgill turns, looks, throws. Too tall for Zion Cross, too small for 81 of Sean Eccles, and the ball is going to go over on downs to the Pioneer. So for the first time today, really, in a scoring chance, the Lorain offense stumbles a little bit, and they turn it over. 6:57 to go in the ball game, still with a 20-point lead, 26-6. Starting to see some different numbers on the field in some places for the Titans. It's nice to see that they have a lot of guys on the sidelines to play in the game.
Well, I counted 39. So
I was going to say about 40. Maybe you got an injury or two. Big hole for the quarterback on the counter that time. He's got 5, 7, 8 yards, maybe 9.
That's the most number for freshmen I've seen in quite a few years.
Yes.
I think a few years ago they even canceled their freshman program for a while.
I thought was it last year? 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I think. The kids that are sophomores now didn't get a chance.
2nd and 1 for Elyria on a gain of 9. There's the same roll going the other way. Pass out and complete. Weatherington pulls down number 8, Deontay Horton, but the first down will move the sticks out to about the 40-yard line. So a couple of quick gainers there, and the Pioneers on the march. 1st and 10 at their 40. 6:20 to go. Definitely need two or three scores, or 3 or 4 scores, excuse me. There's the pass wide, complete. Catch by Devon Nail, number 7. On the tackle is Chris Serrano, number 9 for the Titans. Gain again of about 8 on first down, 2nd and 2. Elyria picking up the pace. Under 6 minutes to play. There's the give inside to Gonzalez, and he really hasn't carried the ball very much, Tom. I mean, he looked good. He returned the first kickoff out to the 45-yard line, and then had a relatively good gain the first time he carried the ball, and we haven't called his name too much since.
Not since then. They've been using that short pass as the
quarterback as the ball carrier.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got more size. Beckett, and there it is again on the roll. Pulls it up, throws it long as far as he could.
Oh, no, I'm going to call interference on that.
And they did.
Yeah. I think it was a kind of an accidental bump, but I still got to call it, yeah.
8 for Elyria Horton and 1 Curry for Lorain. Just bumped together. Now, the official's standing there where the flag is, but this is high school football. It's a 15-yard penalty from the 49-yard line, So we come all the way back up here, and the young man on the box is ready to watch the NFL tonight because he had moved already.
Yeah.
So the officials will go back to the original line of scrimmage and walk 15 to the north toward the end zone. And when it comes to rest, it ought to be on the 34-yard line, and Elyria will have 1st and 10 from there. And we're at 5:36 to play in this one. Titans by 20, which is 3 touchdowns and a pair of extra points. Quarterback keeper, quarterback in trouble, breaks a tackle or 2 in the backfield. Third man bumps him out and then brought to the ground by Marius Hernandez, 89.
He wasn't doing anything fancy. He was just outrunning those tackles and running right through them.
Yep, I mean, nobody was fooled. He just ran through some arm tackles. 2nd and about 5. 5:10 to go. Clock is running. Snap rolling to his right, throwing long again. Got a man out there. Caught and immediately brought down. Number 82, Keon Green with the catch. Demarie Worthy on the coverage. The hit was spot on, but the catch was made before Lorain could make a play on the ball, and it's first down inside the 10, 1st and goal. Roll the clock, we're under 5. There's a swing pass. Beckett's got a receiver to the outside.
Screen.
He's got a convoy, and he's into the house. Touchdown, Elyria on a 9-yard pass to number 7, Devon Nail.
That was a little drive that was
very well run drive, efficient.
All off of short passing.
Let's be grateful they didn't find this earlier. Extra point play straight ahead, and he's going to be in the house for 2. Is the quarterback, 16, Beckett. And just like that, it's 26-14.
So now's the time of the game you got to make the clock your friend, and you got to use it.
Well, I think the first thing you got to do is make sure you recover some sort of kick.
Because there might be an onside.
I would think you got to have 2 scores. So I don't think you want to put your defense out there. Lorain's put 26 on the board and got down inside the 20 another time. So I don't think you want necessarily to do that. 4:49 to go. Both teams with 3 timeouts. Lorain 26, Elyria 14. Elyria will be kicking to our right. Now, again, this is one of those things that you can talk about. You can simulate onside kicks all you want, but you don't really practice them full speed without somebody getting hurt every once in a while, right? So.
And the ball takes funny bounces every time.
Zion Cross on the front line, 12 Sturgill on the front line. I see 28 Sean Petty on the front line, 23 Emmanuel Brown, and then there's a couple of linemen. Grayshawn Ortiz is out there. And now coming back up, 88 Trevon Morgan. Elyria set the kick from the far hash, ball into the middle, caught out of the air. Great play.
Manny Brown, just go down.
Manny Brown, fall down, yes. Manny Brown caught the ball, which saved about 25 yards of roll, because Lorain had 7 guys up within 5 yards of the ball, so there'd have been nobody behind him. That was a huge play by Manny, and then, like you say, I mean, they're going to be more worried about stripping it than tackling you.
Exactly. So
1st and 10 on the 40 is the upshot of the deal.
He made a nice play. Know when to go down. Lorain lives to play another game.
So 4:42, 12-point ball game. Titans come out. Now, Harrell trying to decide if he's supposed to be in or out.
I think he was just catching a play from Coach Joyner.
Okay, could be very well there that they are running them with the backs. And that tells me how deep they are.
Yes, they
in the
are.
backfield, that you can run plays with your backs. Harrell now comes to the slot. He's got to make sure he's off the line there. He does that. Two backs. There's a whistle. And, it's going to be on Lorain.
Moved,
It was in the middle of the line, so we couldn't see who, but it doesn't matter. Counts against everybody. They move it back 5 yards. 1st and 15. Clock stays at 4:42, which may be more important than anything. Like to see the Titans put a couple of first downs together and
keep it running.
Yep. There's the inside handoff back to the line of scrimmage, and not much more. The middle of the Elyria defense there. Which one of them had it that time? Looked like Mincy 27 had it. But the one thing it does do is it gets the clock started. It's 4:20 and rolling.
Yeah. Now, see, they don't have to really take a snap until about 3.
He just marked it for play on that whistle, right?
Exactly.
So they got
25 seconds.
So, it can run under. I'd say it can go down to 3:50. I don't know. Of course, you're facing the other way from the clock.
Can't see,
Takes the snap, pulls it back from cross, keeps
nice
it. That's Justin Sturgill. Got a block, made a cut. And Justin Sturgill is going to go.
Oh, look, I seen a penalty, but I think it's on Elyria for a cheap shot.
Okay, that was.
Yeah.
That's 59 to the house.
Yeah.
But we'll see what the flag is.
Right at the flag, I seen a Lorain Titan laying on his back.
It looked like he went flying to me out of the corner of my eye. Sturgill made a great cut and got a nice block outside from our friend Mr. Brown. Now there's a lot of nodding going on.
Yeah.
And now there's some hand clapping, and I think it's going to stand.
Nice run. There was some blocking on the line to clear him around there.
You know what? Nice ball handling on the fake.
Nice, yeah.
Let's credit him for 63 on the run. 32 now. 32-14. Titans just pretty much sealed the deal, didn't they?
I think so, but you can never say never.
Yeah, I mean, but the lead is 18. That's 3 scores, no matter extra points or not. Sion Cross takes the snap. He's just going to try and keep it, and he's going to come back the other way.
Phil.
He's a one-man counter play.
See, yeah.
And you know what? If he'd have cut it up when he came back, I think he might have had a shot there. Extra point, no good, but the Titans, with another touchdown, they're 5th on the day.
And
32.
He's going to learn that. He's going to learn that you don't outrun him at this level. You cut it back, and he would have been
32-14. The initial cutback gets everybody against the grain, but now you cut back to where they all are. You get one cut in football.
This is an exciting football team.
Yeah, it is. I mean, lots of athletes. We can see that, not only in number, but in quality of athletic ability. There's a lot of guys that can carry the mail.
And if you're seeing people running 55 yards, but there has to be some good line play out there.
Oh, absolutely. And, we've mentioned those guys a couple times.
They never get mentioned enough.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's impossible.
And now the penalty will be enforced, so Lorain's going to kick it from the 45 on the plus side of the field, and now Harrell has figured he's going to tee it up.
He's not going to trust Manny putting it backwards anymore.
So Harrell's going to get a chance to kick one deep. As Lorain on the personal foul, I guess it was. We never did see a signal as to what the penalty was. It was either a personal foul or an unsportsmanlike.
I did see a Lorain kid laying on the ground right there by the flag, but I didn't see the Elyria player around because he hit and ran.
Michael Harrell's going to kick off. 32-14 Lorain at this point. That's a good kick. It's deep down to the 5. And that's Fenton, number 4.
Another good hit.
And that was a big hit. That was a slobber knocker by Zion Cross was down there as well as Michael Harrell. So the Pioneers, things looked so good a minute ago, and now all of a sudden they're now back down 18 points.
On their own 11-yard line.
They're on their own 11, and there's 3:39 to go. And the shadows lengthen, which means the sun is coming out behind us, Tom, and certainly for the Titans as they look to move to 2-0 on this freshman season. Snap, little cross buck we used to call it. The face mask got grabbed there. I think Marco Gonzalez, the runner, and I think, was it holding? Okay, it was declined. It was holding. Very good, Joe. You got better eyes than me. He looked like he threw it right at where the tackle was. Justin Sturgill was there, and the play went nowhere, so the Titans will just take the down. 2nd and 10 from the 12. 3:34 to go, and the clock's spinning. Bad snap, bobbles around, picked up at the 1, thrown outside, had a man, got outside of Weatherington, brought down there after a nice gain. That's Brown, 17 on the tackle. Gain's going to be out to the 21. Wind the clock, the official says. I'm all for that. It's going to be 3rd and 1. There's no down harder in football for a spread team than 3rd and 1. This is a different quarterback, isn't it? This is Horton, number 8, I believe.
He lost a yard or two on the play.
He's not going anywhere.
That's what you said. The hardest down in football.
Well,
it's spread.
Because you got to pick up 4 to get back to the line.
In the old days, and that's only a couple years ago, they would also have a center quarterback exchange normal on a situation like that.
Yes.
Now I don't even see any of that anymore.
The team I follow in college, West Virginia, they never go under center. So on 4th and 5, Elyria's in punt formation. Zion Cross deep at about the 35. The last punt went 5 yards and was fair caught by a Pioneer.
I'm looking for a fake.
This, I think, is a third different. No, this is Griffin Schmidt, the punter. He punted the last time. He's got a good boot away. Zion tried to go over the shoulder, picks it up on the bounce at the 45, circles back. Got a block by, now he makes a cut. And he's down the sideline, inside the 40 to the 35. Goes Zion Cross.
I think we're going to have to mention him again because I think that nice block might have been Manny Brown again.
It was Mecky Curry.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay, he's not around there. Manny just hung around where the block was.
Curry decleated somebody.
Yeah.
That boy, when you put pads on, you dream about that, don't you?
Yeah.
Running full speed and getting somebody that's not looking.
Blind side.
And seeing his face mask instead of his butt pad, so you know you're not going to get called for clipping. Minute 51 to go. Titans with the ball, 1st and 10 on the Elyria 35. Dower out. Let's see who's taking these snaps, as we definitely have some clean shirts in. I can't tell if it is Justin Sturgill.
It is number 12.
Straight ahead, nowhere to go.
He's still running, though. He outran him.
Got one.
I did see a flag fly.
Yeah, there is a flag over there, but he's still not down. He can run the clock out. There's another flag behind the play. And I think that one might be on Elyria, and I think this might be ejection. And there goes the helmet. So that made that, there's not a discussion anymore. The only thing that went farther than the helmet was the second flag. And in 76, I don't want to mention a name, he got caught up with Zion Cross somehow. And I don't know what the original stuff was, but he said something, the official threw the flag, and Zion patted him on the on the chest, I think, and that did it.
Yeah.
So
words were spoken.
Yeah. But the official was already pointing toward the sideline at that point.
I didn't know.
And so I think he was ejected and then threw the helmet.
Oh yes, that was for sure. You seen the ejection signal.
So this one could end up down somewhere around the band bleachers. Holding Lorain is the initial call.
Okay.
And then
2 15-yarders.
It's 10 back and 30 forward, I think.
No.
Personal foul Lorain, personal foul Elyria, personal foul Elyria.
So I think it's only going to be 15.
Yeah, it's 10 back, 15 forward.
Yeah.
And you hate to see this because there have been more flags on that play than there have been in the whole game.
Yeah. Very clean played game.
You know, part of it is youngsters with frustration, and I understand that at every level. But, you know, I tell kids all the time, part of growing up is learning how to deal with frustration. We all get it. It's just how we react to it. And had a couple of guys lose their heads there, so we don't need to talk about who it was. Just know if you're out there watching on TV, the upshot of this is coach has got a couple of guys to yell at tomorrow. One guy's got to sit the next game for getting thrown out, and it's still 32-14. There's a minute 39 left. Lorain's still got the ball, and it's 1st and 7.
But, you know, just the reaction of Lorain's team on plays like that, you see there got to be some coaching out there.
Yes.
I mean, the kids were under control.
And as much as they've reversed field today, I've been impressed that we haven't had a lot of clippings or illegal blocks either. We had a holding there, but nothing else. I think this looks like it might be victory formation. Justin Sturgill is as close to the center as any quarterback has been all day.
And he'll be underneath. And he's just waiting for that 25-second clock to run down. Okay. Looking at I think Coach Joyner is going to tell him.
It's 1st down. I mean,
Coach Killian's going to tell him when to snap.
And there's the snap, and there's the kneel. I think the word perfunctory comes into play at some point here. But Justin wasn't as far under center as you'd like to normally see a quarterback be. Minute to go here, ball marked for play. So we're going to have to do this a couple more times. But in a good display of sportsmanship out here, you don't see anybody teeing off on a defenseless player for either side.
Yeah,
you see the Elyria players with their hands down at their sides, standing straight up. The Lorain players just waiting for the clock to wind down and the signal from the sideline. Sturgill takes the snap again, steps back, and went to his knee. Now, he went to his knee a little early there. Let's see, they haven't marked it for play yet.
I think they're going to
the officials are in on this.
Yeah, they're going to let them run out.
And now it's marked for play under 25, so that'll be the final play of the ball game.
I like to see the varsity game be as entertaining as this game.
That was really a fun game. The Titans of Lorain, the 9th grade team, moves to 2-0 on the season, and that was a real impressive win, Tom. They did a lot of things right. You see that they scored 32 points, and you say, boy, this game was all offense for the Titans, but what a different game it is if in the first half the Lorain defense holds at the 12-yard line, in fact drives the Elyria offense back to the 40 where they take over on downs. And so the offense is so impressed with their defense, they said, you did it from the 12. Here, let's try from the 9. And they did it again and got him back to the 15 when they turned it over on down. So those 2 stands by the Lorain High defense made it all the difference in the world, because we went in at 20-6, and twice Elyria had the ball in scoring position and got nothing. So, and then, you know, the Lorain speed and athletes, and I thought discipline as well. I'm not going to point at Elyria and say that they were undisciplined, but I thought it was a very disciplined Lorain High bunch that went on a couple of long drives there at the end. I mean, you know, the scoring went this way. First play from scrimmage in the ball game. Lorain High's Dakota Mincy went 55 yards straight ahead off left guard, and when he was done, it was 6-0. They kicked off to Elyria. Elyria drove 55 yards, and it was young Mr. Horton, Deontay Horton, on a 27-yard pass from Dante Beckett to even the score at 6. Neither team with an extra point. Lorain then with Michael Harrell going 63 yards on a run, went ahead 12-6 in a very entertaining first quarter. The only score of the second quarter was Zion Cross took a little swing pass out to the left from Davion Dower, and when he stopped, he was in the house, and the lead was 18-6. Justin Sturgill threw a 2-yard pass on a little counter play for the extra point, and it was 20-6 at halftime. Elyria started with the ball on the third quarter, could do nothing. Lorain actually forced the first punt of the game, and then Michael Harrell ran 26 yards, and it was 26-6 Lorain, and for all intents and purposes, we were about done. Elyria came back and scored on their best drive of the game. They mixed the short pass in very well, and Devon Nail scored from 9 yards out on a pass. They had a 2-yard run for the conversion, and it was 26-14, and just when you felt like they were going to get back in the game, Lorain, on a nice play by Manny Brown, handled the short kickoff, and the third play from scrimmage, Justin Sturgill brought it to the right side, cut it up behind a block, and went 63 yards. And when he was done, this was done. It was 32-14. The conversion no good. But that's how we finished up here at George Daniel. So for the young Titans now, 2-0 on the year. A great start, Tom, and a really fun game to watch.
It was. We mentioned track meet early because Lorain scored, Elyria scored. We were thinking it was going to go back and forth, and then all of a sudden the defenses kicked in. And one person I'd like to mention, because we mentioned all the offensive backs a lot. Middle linebacker for Lorain was Sean Petty.
Sean Petty, yeah.
And he did a lot of stunning in there. So it had to be one of the defensive linemen and Sean Petty causing a lot of that defensive confusion that Elyria just couldn't handle.
Well, tomorrow night, it's the varsity Titans traveling to Elyria, to Ely Stadium, to take on the Pioneers. Titans 0-1 on the season, and Elyria 1-0 after a win against old Buckeye Conference foe Fremont. Joe Bach will be there along with the guys from the radio. Good luck to the Titans tomorrow, and we'll see you next time on WLCS TV 20. Have a good night, everybody.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.